Wait on her.
If she knows that we need her for a quorum, she could pick two and two together and know that we have to wait for her to have a quorum.
Well, she's what? Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, do you know any good jokes? They're gonna start the recording, so if you're gonna tell a joke, make sure it's clean.
I haven't started yet, I was just asking, you guys want me to start it?
We don't have to, right? We just have to start the meeting after 7. It doesn't, we don't have to start recording yet, do we, Chris? Yeah. We just can't start it before 7. We do have a member of the Minister Alliance with us. Pete, would you please come forward and pray?
Father, we want to just thank you for the year we've just completed, and we thank you for, we have a new year before us. And we thank you for these who serve in our community. And as they take care of business, begin their meeting tonight, and they'll have many more throughout this year, we just ask for wisdom. We ask that this would be a year of prosperity in our community, also protection, and just do many wonderful things here in this place that you've allowed us to live, and just do wonderful things here. And bless these groups here tonight. That's good in Jesus' name.
Amen. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I call the January 2nd, 2024 Board of Aldermen meeting to order. City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Kelly Netto. Here. Tracy Newcomer. Rachel Kilmer. Jeremy Taylor.
Here?
Jim Shrout.
Here.
Pam Pope.
Here.
And Mayor Dana Webb.
Here, thank you. The next item on the agenda is new business deletions or continuances. We do not have any of those, so we will move on to public comments. City Clerk, do we have any?
There are none.
There are no public comments. The next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. These items are considered on the consent agenda so that members of the board, by unanimous consent, can designate routine items to be approved by one motion. Tonight, we have approval of the December 18th, 2023 Board of Aldermen meeting minutes and expenditures through December 28th, 2023.
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is unfinished business. We do not have any of that this evening, so we will move on to new business. The first item on the new business is discussion, consideration, and possible action for Bill Number 2401 regarding the ordinance approving a polling place contract with Jackson County and authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement. Kim?
Yes. This is just the annual agreement with Jackson County Election Board, authorizing them to use this space for a polling place for 2024.
Thank you, Kim. Does the board have any questions for Kim?
I move for the first and second reading by title only of Bill 2401.
Second?
We have a motion and a second for the first and second reading of Bill Number 2401 for ordinance by title only. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. City Clerk, would you please read the full title of the bill 2 times?
An ordinance approving a polling place contract with the Jackson County Board of Election Commissioners and authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement. An ordinance approving a polling place contract with the Jackson County Board of Election Commissioners and authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement.
I move for the adoption of Bill number 2401.
Second?
We have a motion and a second for the adoption of Bill Number 2401 to ordinance. Any discussion? If not, City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Kelly Netto.
Yes.
Jeremy Taylor.
Yes.
Jim Shrout.
Yes.
Pam Pope.
Yes.
The motion is approved and Bill Number 2401 becomes ordinance number 2100. Having trouble with my iPad, hold on. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding a purchasing of a 2024 Ford Maverick for the Codes Enforcement Department. Corey?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, this is a new request for a Ford Maverick. The last meeting, we had brought to you the request for Ford Maverick, and you all approved that request. And when I went to order it the very next day, the dealership had told me that the ordering had closed. So I'm here today to request ordering a different Ford Maverick through a different dealership who I checked with on this past Friday, and he says that the ordering is still open. Yeah, and I can answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Corey. Any questions for Corey?
They didn't tell you why it was closed, did they? Just curious.
Did not, they're just, he didn't tell me that the fact that they're just not accepting any more orders for fleet vehicles, the fleet style vehicles. So,
I make a motion that we approve the purchase of the 2024 Ford Maverick.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the purchase of the 2024 Ford Maverick for the Codes Enforcement Department. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding the purchasing of a service truck for the Parks Department. Scott?
Yes, so traditionally, we take a vehicle that's left over from the Public Works Department, and we will go through it and get the last of life out of that truck. In this situation, although it's not our oldest truck in our fleet, it has an internal catastrophic failure that is still operable, but it's at any time could stop working. When we got this truck, we had to replace the engine from Public Works and replace the bed. There's rust issues and some electrical issues, but the engine issue is the main one we can't get around. So we've looked at no other option other than to replace the vehicle. So I'm asking for money to purchase a good used vehicle. We don't need a brand new one.
Thank you, Scott. Any questions for Scott?
Well, I have a question. So we're just asking for an overall purchase level, like similar, I mean, what Corey just did, he provided how much and how much and how much, and you're just looking for like a cap?
Yeah,
to
because
go up?
I'll have to go see what's available and then negotiate that and and then purchase the used. If it was a new vehicle, I'd have at least three
Gotcha.
quotes from you. But
Okay.
with the used, you can't guarantee it'll be there.
Gotcha, perfect, thank you.
Scott, is the one we're replacing a 2-ton,
A 3/4 ton,
3/4?
it's a half ton.
All right.
Preferably it would be a 3/4 ton.
You're wanting to go up
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
3/4?
It's got overload springs on it, so we have used the overload. It's just, we prefer not to, so, on the current truck. We don't travel far, obviously, so with it, but
Well, I will make the motion that we approve the purchase of a truck not to exceed $35,000.
Second?
We have a motion and a second for a purchase regarding a service truck for the Parks Department not to exceed $35,000. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding a purchasing of a 2024 vehicle replacement for the Police Department. Chief?
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight's vehicle night. Even with the police department, the ability to find vehicles is in short supply. We were faced with the 24 orders closing in a 48-hour period last year. We never even knew the bid opened, and then when we closed 2 days later, because of the manufacturing woes as it is, Ford put a cap on that for the fleet vehicles. And so 2024 is coming out this year. They've said don't count on it. We would have to bid on 25s, and we wouldn't know in 25 when we would receive those. So we start looking at what vehicles could accommodate our fleet beyond the Ford. And what we're looking at is we are looking to replace a command vehicle or administrative vehicle, which would belong to the captain. The captain and I had the two longest or oldest vehicles in the fleet. Mine was replaced last year. This would be replacing his in '24. And then that vehicle, the captain's, while it is a 2014, it still has a lot of serviceable miles in it. It would then be moved down to the school resource officer vehicle, thus eliminating us having to purchase two vehicles in 1 year. What we have been interested in and what we are seeking approval to buy is we found the Missouri State Highway Patrol and a lot of the sheriff's departments have gone to the Dodge Durango, and they have many that are still available on the market. And a local dealership has a 2023 Dodge Durango, brand new, upfitted for police use, that would cost us $39,900, which is far less than the $46,000 we budgeted for in the line item. But that extra in the line item will allow us to purchase the lights for it, as well as upfit the SRO car with a cage, which the captain's vehicle doesn't have. Going into this, I also had some reservations about Dodge, and so we did a test of those, and we looked at how this is built different than the Dodge Charger, because I will admit I will not buy another Dodge Charger for police work, because it does not work in a municipal area with railroad tracks and everything else that destroyed the suspension. So Dodge has built the Durango on a Jeep Cherokee chassis, which hopefully would alleviate those weaknesses in the chassis that we experienced with the last two Dodges that we were able to get rid of. So we are seeking approval to buy a 2023 vehicle for the 24 replacement line item, but it is a brand-new vehicle that still remains in stock with Landmark Dodge, which is a local dealership, which will cut down on any transporting or fees in that sense.
Thank you, Chief.
I make a motion, we approve the purchase of the
2023.
2023 from Landmark Dodge for $39,900.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the purchase of a 2023 vehicle for the police department for $39,900. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding the Flock automatic license plate reader purchase agreement and deployment plan. Chief?
Thank you, Mayor. If you will recall, mid to late 2023, I wrote a grant through Missouri Department of Public Safety for the Local Violent Crime Prevention Grant, which provided up to $25,000 for crime reduction equipment and tools. In that grant, specifically, they were targeting agencies or cities that would like to use license plate reader technology to reduce crime, prevent crime, and report crime coming into our communities or exiting our communities. Per se, if we look at Oak Grove in itself, in a year's span, we had 14 recovered stolen autos in 2023, and those were made their way to our city in some way, shape, or form from other communities. And so the ability to have known that information coming in hopefully could have solved some of those crimes from the get-go. So in receiving that grant, in the way that I wrote it and the equipment I believed we need, we were awarded $21,000. And to ensure that I did my due diligence, I did a comparative bid over the phone and through the internet with 3 different companies. And I did come back to Flock Safety for the automatic license plate readers. And then as we did the infrastructure study of the city and what poles could be used and how we could reduce the cost of installation by not having to put new poles up, we were able to move that from 5 cameras to 6 with a total cost of $20,000 of the $21,000 awarded. So that would give a little bit of a cushion in case we need any type of clamps, wiring, and such that maybe was not included in the grant. While amount of paperwork that I've given you, if you go, I'm sorry, I don't have a paper page number to direct you, but later in that, there is the map that shows the deployment plan that has the red markings on it in your packet. So in looking to deploy those 6 license plate readers, the first 2, we are looking at catching both exit ramps from I-70, being the exit ramp from the eastbound lanes and then the exit ramps from the westbound lanes, so that we know what is coming into the city. The second 2 cameras would be deployed on poles basically next to Quick Trip facing east, which those lanes are small enough to where 1 camera facing east is going to get both east and westbound traffic, and then 1 camera on a city pole on Salem at about the entrance to the new apartment complex. Again, narrow roadway is going to be catching traffic going both north and south. And then the last 2 cameras we would position at the 12th and Broadway area, trying to capture Broadway for sure, but then also the westbound lane or the west side of Broadway on 12th. And we've chosen those 6 areas working with the company based on what our past crime reporting tendencies were, in the sense of most crime is running to I-70, or if it is looking to get out of our city, it's moving along 12th. And so we think that 12th and Broadway would be the best to capture that, as well as those around 4th and Salem and Broadway and I-70. And if you remember going back to my presentation on this, the license plate readers are capturing passive information of vehicles going by, being the license plate, the vehicle, the color. It is not discriminating in any way. The only thing that it is going to pick up on us, other than vehicle information, is if the vehicle is wanted, or the driver, if there are warrants associated to it, or a stolen vehicle. That program goes directly to the officer's in-car computer, and they know if they have a wanted vehicle that is coming into the city or moving throughout those areas within the city. It is a real-time notification. The delay is only seconds. And with approval to go ahead and complete this plan, we could have installation within the next 6 weeks and be operational by mid-February.
Wow. Correct me if I'm wrong, didn't you say in the presentation a few months ago that Flock has a contract with MoDOT, so we can mount those, like on the exit ramps?
Yeah, but when we did the only thing that we found was the area of Broadway and I-70 were the only poles that MoDOT really had that would work for them. Everything else is going to be poles, city street poles, city street lights. It's a small, of about this size, about the size of an iPad,
Okay,
and with a solar panel on it, and so it would be very unnoticeable.
yeah. Thank you.
And again, this is a grant-covered project for the initial cost of the 20,000 of the 21 awarded.
But then there'll be 18,000 recurring costs.
Yes,
on it.
yes. For the life of the contract that we desire, there is no requirement that we have to be in it 2 years, 3 years, or indefinitely. We make that decision.
You said that the officers would know within seconds. Does it also send a notification to Highway Patrol or just Oak Grove officers?
It depends on, we can send information to other departments, just like right now, Blue Springs will call us and let us know if something is coming our way that has gone through their camera. And so there are notification networks that are being set up with every agency that is buying into the Flock product. So right now, Blue Springs is deploying 60 cameras. Grand Valley hasn't made a decision yet, but Odessa has put up 5 or 6 themselves. So yeah, that allows us to share that information, but we can limit what or how much we share, because the information belongs to us. We want to help other agencies, but we also don't want, we have to control our information.
So basically, it just goes to Oak Grove unless you disperse the
Unless we
information.
disperse it, yeah.
Does this information go directly to the patrolman, or does it go
Yes.
to dispatch?
It goes directly to the patrolman, to their computers, and then certain supervisors, it'll go straight to their cell phone.
And you said it tags wanted vehicles or
It tags wanted
reported
vehicles, but it will also discriminate vehicles as well. So let's imagine we have a crime at 21st and Broadway of a blue Nova with a chief sticker in the back window. The algorithm will allow us to search for blue vehicles and put in specifics of stickers, bumper decals, things of that nature. The thing that goes with that, though, is we have to have an active investigation.
Gotcha.
Meaning officers are not allowed just to sit in their car and say, let's see who's driving a red car today. It has to be in an active investigation, that a case number has to go with that search. So we control that to where it's not just a free I spy.
Right. But so it's only regarding the vehicle, not necessarily the driver.
Right, this makes no determination about a driver or anyone who's inside the vehicle. It's only capturing those external identifiers.
And it's 18,000 additional a year?
It's a year, yes. For the, Flock does complete maintenance, ownership of the equipment, and the data package, which is different than the other companies. If we look at Genetech, we receive a 1-year warranty, and then after that 1 year, we own it all, and if it breaks, we pay for it. Flock's 18,000 covers everything, so that once we're up and running, they monitor everything about the lifespan of the equipment, the technology, and if it needs to be repaired, upgraded, or changed.
And this has been beneficial to other communities who've had this, and it's kind of tough to state a ROI, really, but
This has, for Lee Summit, Grandview, and Blue Springs started out with just 10 cameras, and then they went to 60. Because the benefit that they saw from the 10 cameras, it does come down to the reality, though, that you have to dedicate your officers to, okay, we've got to get this here, because if things really start to ping, you do have to be discriminated in the sense of, I can't go after every $150 traffic warrant, because we need to use this for what it's appropriately for. And most jails won't take $150 traffic warrants
Right,
anymore
right.
anyways.
I remember the grant request, but I don't remember, did we budget for this?
It is a line item in the 2024 budget, yes.
Thank you.
I move to finalize the purchase agreement of the automatic license plate readers through Flock Safety.
second.
We have a motion and a second to finalize the agreement with the Flock automatic license plate readers for the police department. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is information reports. Matt, do you have one?
No, thank you, Mayor.
Chris? No, thanks, Mayor. You're welcome.
No, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. It's supposed to snow, though. That was your chance. Chief?
No, ma'am, thank you, though.
Corey?
No, thank you.
Kim?
No.
Wow. Scott?
One minor thing, Christmas tree drop-off, we're accepting throughout this week, so if you have a live tree, no decorations, we'll take it at Webb Park at the maintenance building.
Nice. Okay. Kelly?
Nope.
Jim?
No.
Jeremy?
No.
Pam?
Yes.
Okay, what do you got?
Several weeks ago, one of our business owners came to us requesting that we look at the parking on Broadway, and we haven't. I've paid a lot of attention to what she commented on regarding people parking there all day long, business owners, and I'm wondering if the city staff could take a look at that and come back to us maybe with some recommendations. I know what I think we should do, but I'd like to see it just be customer-only parking. But anyway, wondering if city staff could come back and take a look at that.
Yeah, we had Jill present a while back ago.
Yes.
Yeah, and nothing really happened from that. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. Anything else, Pam?
No.
All right, good job. I don't have anything. I'm looking for executive session. Someone to send us there.
Make a motion, we adjourn to executive session 610.0211.
Second.
Have a motion and a second for executive session 610.0211. Any discussion? If not, City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Kelly Neto? Yes. Jeremy Taylor,
Yes.
Jim Shrout,
Yes?
Pam Poe.
Yes.
We are adjourned to executive session.